do play very well, but you said it right at the end. TSM, they're the favorite team for good reason. What do you think? How much of an upset would it be if Luminosity came away with this one?
So when I'm saying that, TSM are the only way that they lose this is if they, defeat themselves, that overpasses what I mean. Like, they go into it, they already think that they've got this in the bag, they go in overconfident, and when things get hard, they can't seem to get their heads back into the game and get into that gear where it's like, okay, actually we have to fight for this, right? They just were never able to get into it again. It was Luminosity who just kept control the entire time, kept that pressure up on TSM, and well, it never panned out for the Danes again in that map. Now we have to see. Fresh start, they got their reality check. TSM going into Inferno, we all know how good they are, but now I think that they're not thinking that this is going to be a very free map. Now I think they realize we have a bit of a fight on our hands here, boys. We're going to have to get it done the hard way.
Yeah, I'm very, very impressed. We do have everybody on the server, so it can't be too much longer. But remember, this is the last semi-finals. Already in the grand finals is Fnatic, and question becomes now, who is going to be joining them? A Fnatic Luminosity grand finals, I don't think anybody predicted. Fnatic TSM, maybe yes. That could have been foreseen. Either way, at this point, it's going to get interesting. TSM fans, that should have been NiP fans. All I'm saying is that sign could have been a little bit better, but I appreciate the effort anyway. Good sign making, guys. Keep it up. Definitely. I expect to see double the amount of signs when we get to the grand finals. At least double. Oh, that's been upgraded as well.
Dude, he's actually got the Kerrigan shirt and everything, man.
Very good. Yeah, well, everyone should have some Kerrigan swag, is what I'm saying, Samler, I've got the wristband. What do you have?
I have it all in my heart.
All right, well, that's...
Envy, they broke it this weekend.
That's where it counts. That's what I like to say.
Monsters, but okay, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into this map now, because it looks like TSM will be starting on the T side with Luminosity on the CT side, although as I say that, we might be going into the knife round still. Yeah, this is the knife round.
The knife first. All right,
so we had to restart. A little bit of a delay there, guys.
Trying
to sort out the sides now.
Trying to cheat us is what they did. Come on, call it for me. Who wins this map? Go with your heart. Everyone would say, sort of, objectively speaking, probably TSM the favorite team. I need that gut feeling,
Gut feeling?
Yeah.
Still TSM.
Oh, damn. All right. So cold.
It's so cold. It's cold here in Sweden, Anders. I've been here long enough now. It's worked all of the warmth out of my body. Odin got rid of the frost giants, but he left one behind, me.
I mean, I'm Danish and all. I've got the Kerrigan wristband on. I've got it all going for me right here, but I've got like this really strange feeling.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, are you really?
I don't know what it is. I mean, on this particular, on the last map, Fallen obviously came through for his team, but I want to look at Cold this particular game. He's had some really good Inferno games in the past. I think Cold could be the key to this. The kid is a superstar, and he came out of nowhere.
But instead, we're going to be taking a look at Fallen, who has also had these high-impact rounds. I mean, it's easy. Any in-game leader will say, well, when my boys are doing their work, it's easy to call, right? But then he can even get into the mix. He can even have these high-impact rounds where he gets 2, 3, 4 kills with the AWP. He's one of those crazy operas who can just, take the fights long range, but also if he gets up close, he's not afraid to use it like a shotgun. Just get the job done messy that way. So Fallen, he has really shown himself here at this tournament, what he is capable of. Now over on the TSM side, Dupree, the entry fragger rifler extraordinaire, and sometimes Opper. You give this guy a toothpick and he's gonna get frags with it. So
yeah,
really surprised to see that Dupree was struggling a little bit on that last map. He's usually one of those players that you look to on TSM to get a lot of work done.
I think at this point it's safe to say that Sip is going to be showing up for TSM. He's been doing that for a very long time. I'm wondering what the counterpart is going to be. I mean, on this map, it's a bit different for TSM. I actually think a lot of the time when they do need an AWP, if they need it on the CT side, they'll probably go to Device for doing it.
True.
Like on Inferno, that seems to be his role within the team. Very curious about how Luminosity are going to play this map, if they're going to go for... If they are going to try and play some misleading strats where they're going to try and fake out a little bit, I'm looking to see if they're going to use FNX as like the odd guy out, because I know that's something that TSM have caught on to. That very often if they run a strat, then it'll be FNX who's sort of the odd guy out. So if you find him, you know a lot about what's happening already on Overpass, they use Taco mostly as the guy down by the B bomb side who was sort of the odd man out. The problem is if you use the same person over and over again to play to play alone as a single person on the map, if he gets found, then you kind of know what the setup is, right? It's exactly like we used to say time and again with NIP. If ever you'd find Get Right alone, well, you know the rest of the team is somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's a big giveaway. That's why a lot of teams will switch up their styles and switch up their positions every once in a while, just to make sure that it's always a little bit doubtful. You know, if you get a kill on someone, you think, wait a minute, I killed this person in this position? That doesn't make sense, you know? So keep people guessing. That's a depth that I think Luminosity might not have yet. So we should keep an eye on it for that very reason.
I'm a little worried about Luminosity starting on the T side on Inferno. I would have actually liked to have seen TSM even just go so far as to swap over to the T side themselves so they could control more of the pace of the game, because of what happened last map where Luminosity, they just controlled it from start to finish. This ultra passive style of just not going anywhere on the map, just waiting until there's like 15 seconds left on the clock before they push onto a site. They did such a fantastic job of just slowing everything down to the point where TSM were getting uncomfortable. Here for TSM, you know, I would want them to just be able to, you know, start off strong, set the pace, set the tone, and go into it all guns blazing, right? And there is a little bit of a challenge in mid just for a heartbeat. But it is going to come down to TSM not letting Luminosity get comfortable on this map. They're going to have to challenge them. They're going to have to challenge them Banana because Luminosity are so very good with the B executes.
And what they have is one flash and one smoke on Fallen. Again, taking one for the team. Fur getting a headshot on Cajun, and they could easily use that here in the middle. They can use both bomb sites. If they go B, they're probably going to use that smoke for the CT spawn. If they go mid and just try and charge in, because everybody else has Glock armor, so, you know, they're looking to get that horrifying Glock train rolling. Sip holding alone here at B, and he's got no grenades to stop them.
Yeah, there's already the single smoke on Fallen. That's all they need. Smoke into CT, flash onto the site. FNX goes charging through, and now it's all on TSM. Well, on Zipmix basically, and he already gets dinked down to 4 HP, so it's not looking pretty for him. Unless he can get a headshot here, it would have been possible perhaps for TSM to have a little bit of an edge going into it, but now they're 2 men down going into a B retake. Kerrigan needs to get this one, and he will. Cold is gone, but now 4 players left alive here for Luminosity.
Kerrigan also being tagged a little bit here. Bomb ticking away. Dupree currently does have the kit on him, but no armor. And this is going to be a very tough retake. Kerrigan going down. Fur with the second shot at Fallen. Long range there, taking down Device. Very nicely done. And it's overall a triple kill from Fur, who was pretty much entirely absent for the first map. Came back into it on the second map. Well, now it's a good start for the terrorist side.
Yeah, he had a few good rounds for, but it wasn't until much later on in the map, you're right. He had a very cold start for. So now it comes down to TSM. They don't decide to go for the full out buy though. They are going to be holding on to a little bit of their money going into that first buy round. All they've done is invested in smokes this round just to make Luminosity slow down a little bit. Maybe give them a fighting chance if Luminosity decide to get antsy, try and push through smokes. With these pistols up close, TZ, they could do some damage here, TSM.
And again, all of these smokes reveal so much about the Inferno map architecture, because it's the only map where you'll see people doing this in a second round. But it has to do with the fact that you can block off. I mean, this chokehold already especially. Now trying to run through, and actually Taco going to be successful. Device not hitting the shots, and he goes down. Taco, even in the fountain, getting his feet a little bit wet there, but he's going to be fine. Kerrigan charging onto the bomb side. It's Fallen with another SMG kill. And Sip and Cajun just left waiting. So when you buy all these smokes on the CT side, what you're just hoping for is that someone is going to make a mistake and they get a little bit, you know, nervous. And especially if they end up running out of time, you have more smokes left that they didn't expect. That didn't happen here, and Fur will clean it up. So great job.
Yeah, just fantastic work so far from Luminosity, keeping their cool. They do decide to take the risk and push through the smoke. They do it well though. Full flashes leading the way onto that B site. And this is where I think TSM, when they get the rifles, they're going to have to put a lot of focus on trying to gamble, at least take control of Banana early on. Don't let Luminosity just get all the way up to top Banana and feel comfortable, feel like they have all the room they need to execute, put up a bit of a fight. TSM were famous for this way back in the day, where Zipmix would always be smoking bottom Banana. They'd always play aggressive, take Banana control. TSM, and they need to do that when they have the guns. I don't think that they can allow Luminosity to have all the comfort, all the confidence.
Well, they're going to have a lot of confidence here, wrapping into the bomb site. Just one player holding Cold, going to drop him down. And, well, still holding here is FNX, and he's already got 1 kill. Falling back with the AK. They really want to see if they can hunt this AK down, and they're going to be successful. Can they hold on to it as well? That would be nice for the upcoming round. Again, So we talked about the smokes already, and this is mostly for anyone who's new and watching the game. If you've been watching for a long time, you'll probably know already. But smokes are great. If you've got Molotovs too, the amount of time you can buy on the CT side before the terrorists could sort of realistically push through becomes very, very difficult to deal with if you're on the terrorist side. So this A-Hay is going to allow, for at least for Device or somebody else maybe, if he drops it for somebody else, to pick up maybe a Molotov as well, which is not so common in the 4th round. Normally you have to wait a little bit later on if you stack up CT rounds.
Well, they're on the hunt. Oh, and Fallen misses the jump. Well, that's a little frustrating because he might have been able to get the shot on Device. But instead now it looks like Device will survive the round. He will have that AK, so somebody will have full nades going into this next round. They did a pretty good job managing their money as well, TSM. So they should have everything they need here going into this one, and it is going to be Kerrigan going for the AWP right off the bat. Fallen is going to be there to greet him with his own sniper rifle. And now really we have to see, do TSM decide to take this match by the throat and just go with it? They need to just put the pressure on Luminosity early on, and so far it doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of challenge in Banana.
What we do have is Kerrigan with the AWPs on not Device like I was predicting earlier on. We'll see if it's going to work out or not. They've got a bit of a boost going up onto the canopy here at Quad, and Luminosity still playing very slowly. They have got a lot of Molotovs on the other hand. 4 of them, in fact.
They have set up for a bit of a fight at top Banana, but it is going to come down to this key peek right there. And Fallen going for the slow crouch in. Not going to work, and he didn't get the info on Cajun either, so they have no idea right now, Luminosity and Cajun. Don't you dare throw a nade. Don't give it up. They decide to fall back. They had the element of surprise, but they decide to give it up, TSM, not play so aggressive in the challenge. A little bit surprising considering Cajun hadn't been spotted, but they're trying to play it safe, I suppose.
Yeah, a little bit nervous maybe on the TSM side. It's good to be defensive and careful sometimes, but you don't want to be, you know, timid and sort of and lack confidence. Sort of a fine line, it seems. Less than 40 seconds now, and again, this is sort of the Na'Vi kind of style that we're seeing here. Very slow, try and see if they can make it work. Shoulder peek comes out. Kerrigan not hitting the shot. He's going to get the kill, but Fur will refrag, and he's been doing very well so far. Cajun hiding by a little pit. Flashbang going to go up. Now 24 seconds left as they try and make their way onto the A-bomb site mid-air. Taco going to get stopped cold, and FNX will take down Cajun. Almost no time, but the bomb has been planted inside, and it's now 2-on-3. For the only one with any real health, going to go for the spray, and he goes down to Dupree.
And it's all on FNX now. He has the bomb planted for himself, but he should get spotted fairly quickly here. There should be enough people here on TSM to deny him after a while. Yeah, every time he tries to peek, as soon as he hears that defuse coming through, 2 rifles there waiting for him, and that was a great retake on TSM's part. Cajun in particular, not overextending himself on long, deciding to fall back onto the side, really make it expensive. And well, Device also with the rotate in. So, yeah, well, TSM. Well, this isn't major technically, right, Anders?
No, I mean, we've got almost every top team here. So, in terms of teams, we're not far off, I reckon. What would happen if you had Luminosity playing Na'Vi on land? The slowest match of all time?
Do they have the train? Do they have the challenge? Yes, they do. Okay, they have a smoke right there. Bit of a deep one. And Device in position, but there's too many people here. He's just spraying right through the middle of them. And everybody getting wiped out by on TSM's side, on the B site.
Wow. You're absolutely right. He had 5 people in front of him, and it looked like somehow he managed to find the only gap. You talk about shooting fish in a barrel. Well, apparently it's possible to miss even if you're doing that. Sip, Cajun, and Kerrigan are going to be left, and it's 3-on-5 right now. Fallen looking for kills, and he's going to go down early on here, but you can't really blame him. This is a really big turnaround, and again, I mean, these are the sort of rounds that TSM cannot afford to have. See if they could at least make it out with all their rifles intact here on the Danish side.
It's looking to be really scary about that. I mean, yes, the mid-smoke. I mean, not the mid-smoke, rather, the smoke at top Banana like that. Still, you're cutting them off from car. But if they all come rushing through together, we just saw what can happen. And if the flash hits as well, which I believe is what happened to Dupree, who was behind Device. Device managed to dodge the flash. He was up close, but I think Dupree ate that full to the face. So Device literally had no support for that half second. It's just too nasty a situation up there. I would really like to see the smoke at bottom Banana. Just challenge, just YOLO your nades in there, throw everything in, really do what you can to just stop Luminosity, to teach them that they can't come into Banana early or they're going to get punished.
Well, Karrigan once again back to AWPing here. In the middle this time, a little bit more aggressive. They are set up for some counter flashes instead of top, and that's a nice shot there. Cold going for the jumping shoulder peek, and that's a pretty good idea, but the problem is I think he landed a little bit too far out from the angle than what he really wanted to, so maybe a little bit of miscontrol there. Gonna give TSM the opening. Last time they got this, they just fell back and played defensively, and that worked. This time, they're still staying a little bit more forward on the map.
Curious to see. I mean, yeah, they really are just hanging back on the B side so far. And over on A, yeah, passive hold. Zipmix now playing from balcony. He's going to have that crossfire set up with Cajun. Cajun using position I believe that FNX was using actually earlier on in the tournament. Bit of a cheeky spot. That can get nasty. That half second that it'll take to adjust your aim. Yeah, exactly. It was Apex who kept running into it when Envy were playing versus Luminosity on Inferno. Nice flash though onto the balcony, and now Zipmix, that's a half second, but he knows that at least one player is waiting up here, and he needs to be ready with that AK. Yep, mid-air chicken shoot. Picks up one, gets the second. And Luminosity, this round, they can just write it off. They ran into the blender, it didn't work.
Okay. I have a request for anyone out there who is sort of a frag movie creator. I want to see that situation where they're both in the air right here. I want to see like the Matrix slowdown where you do like a full 360-degree camera spin while they're doing that. What is going on with Zip? That was a triple kill. And we're now into the 7th round here. Luminosity's economy down to a couple of Tech-9s here as well. There is a good chance for TSM to bring themselves, I think, also mentally back into the game right now, but we'll see. So far, even taking a huge loss on the first map, no, they haven't been able to break LG's confidence.
All you think when you see Fallen doing that is the floor is lava. You ever play that when you were a kid, Anders? Jump everywhere, can't touch the floor. Can't touch the floor.
Still play that some though.
Pretty nice movement from Fallen.
Never actually grown up.
No, none of us do.
Well, they have left Device alone in the B bomb site with no smokes, a Molotov admittedly, and a FAMAS. I think this is a big risk now. Luckily, Dupree's close by, and he's got a smoke and a Molotov, and I think, did he put up a smoke? Yeah, he did. Nice angle that to know there. Good job on Dupree. So that smoke, you can see, goes down right as LG are wanting to commit. If they try and go through now, there's a chance they'll run into a Molotov, and Dupree's nearby as well. This is what TSM are so good at and what they're well known for. If they run in on top of a Molotov, this should be a good round for TSM.
But then Luminosity are also world famous for their B-take. They know what's up, but there's the Molotov, you're right. Let's see, is it gonna be able to get the job done? Device there to spray down the first man. They are taking a little bit of damage getting through it. There's the flash and Dupree falling back, changing up his angle. Device doesn't need his help. Another headshot for him. He's looking for a third one. He will get it. 1 for 3. That's a trade, and that works out just fine. But then Fallen and Fer bringing it back.
Time to get that.
9 seconds.
They need to get that bomb down. Gonna be able to just in time. Fer very low on health here, and they're both trapped at a very awkward corner. This is not a good position. Cajun is going to be walking in, and well, he doesn't check the corner, still going to get it, and Sip with the final headshot there. So Diffuse comes through, and yeah, good job on Device. That was very, very important. And the fact that, well, we've got to get some credit to Dupree as well. Dupree sticking around here is super crucial, because if he doesn't put that smoke up, then Device's chances of holding back the 5-man push that comes through, well, next to nothing, especially with the FAMAS.
It's also really lucky, actually, for Device to find himself in that second Orange's position, not the first. He would have got wiped out much quicker, I think. I don't think he could have traded 1 for 3 like that, because it's such a hard shot to hit when they're waiting in pool. You have to hit headshots, whereas they can just really just full spray on you. So Device finding himself in the right place at the right time, and given the kind of player that he is, if you give him that shot, he'll come in big. So Luminosity, they've finally been forced to pistols. TSM now get a chance to farm up a little bit, and Karrigan gonna make life a little bit easier for himself here with that smoke in mid. Luminosity, though, they're gonna set up with a bit of a Fnatic-style push, flash through the smoke, charge right in, and Karrigan just barely makes it out alive.
This is a scary round for Karrigan. I don't think he realizes, but it definitely is. Cajun picking up a good double kill here. Taco coming through, and he will drop Cajun. Did he do more? Not gonna steal away any AWPs this time, and Dupree will finish it. Now, here's the thing. When you go second mid with that many players, the dream scenario is to have a guy playing AWP on the corner, because if he misses, only if he gets the shot, but if he misses the shot, then you chase him down. It's very hard to get back around the corner. So the fact that Karrigan actually falls back and puts up the smoke, he couldn't know that people were there, but the fact that he does is very significant. That could have been a horrible way to start. Now we're tied up at 4-4, and Fallen has picked up an AWP too.
And he's actually expecting the peak in the second mid, it looks like. Well, a little bit of a shot, a little bit of a trade. And then no, mistaken on the numbers. Fallen's waiting in banana. 3 players, though. This time TSM. The last time Luminosity ran into some difficulty on the A side, they instantly swapped it up, went ultra aggro towards the B side, and this time TSM were trying to pull a fast one on him, but instead it's Kerrigan getting slapped. Device, though, will find Fallen up on Woodlogs, and both Oppers down now for each team.
Oh, yeah. A bit of a wide angle for Kerrigan there, wanting to cover both sides of the hallways, and they used it against him. So Fallen being traded for Kerrigan, both the Oppers are gone. Bomb all the way back here, but still lots of time for Luminosity to make a play. Once you lose a man, and especially if you lose a man and get an entry frag on the other team, I think B is a very decent call. They've still got 3 Molotovs, and you talked about this position earlier. If Device stays here and they gets Molotov down, things are going to get very bad. Smoke goes up, but they come charging through a Device. He should have been ready for that. That is actually a big mistake. Dupree now playing close, that smoke not covering, everything spraying through and almost connecting. He gets the shot, and Cold is down to 11 as well. And Sip and Cajun, long way away is Cajun right now. They're going to have to go for a hard retake here.
Cajun just miles away. Now he's got to waste so much time trying to clear out Banana. He's just now making his way to bottom Banana. And now Cold, well, he's kind of hanging around on this angle, but they are going to be trying to back off, it looks like. Zip mixing a 1v3, unless he can catch somebody peeking him. It's really not going to work, and yeah, he's just going to set up for the exits. If they can get 1 kill here, TSM, they're going to be happy.
Well, a success so far. Taco going down, and Cold, I think he's, well, actually, he might be able to pick it up here. Cajun sprays 1. Cold going to go up with the bomb either way, so there it is. They at least take care of everybody else on the map, but so when a smoke lands and you're really close to it as a terrorist, you've got sort of, I mean, most of the time you're probably going to elect to try and back off because you think, all right, let's wait for the smoke to go off. But a lot of teams, the sort of most aggressive ones, especially Fnatic and Envy, will do it a lot. When the smoke goes down and they're right in front of it, they'll just push through. They'll think, all right, I'll just go. And maybe Device is thinking, all right, I wasn't playing out of those 2 teams, so I shouldn't be ready. But he could have, I would have sort of expected him to stay there just a little bit longer and look and see if someone was coming through.
He was getting ready for that incendiary you were talking about being the key 1-2 combination for the B defense. Having that incendiary up behind the smoke, falling back, trying to buy time. But again, TSM, they just smoked top Banana with 1 minute 10 seconds left. The Luminosity have all the time in the world now. Fresh smoke goes up, but they aren't even going to wait. They just go charging right through. Good delay, and well, Dupree does manage to hold his own. Takes out the first. Dupree with the second. Don't miss the flash now, Dupree.
Well, someone's coming through construction, so Device is reloading right in the face of Fallen, and that's not going to work out so well. So now, 2-for-2 trade. Dupree hiding in the back lines, and he's going to go down to Fallen. Cajun spraying madly and taking out Cold. It's still 45 seconds here, and the bomb is not going down just yet. They need to make that bomb plant happen, otherwise TSM are going to get in very good positions here. FNX trying to cover as the bomb not being planted, but a headshot from FNX and Fallen. Well, he's got the triple Sip. He might have to try and save TSM here all on his own, and it's not an easy task. Now the bomb is down, and he's got that AK, and they're both in the back line.
Oh, they're both stacked up, double corners and black corner as well. I mean, Zipnix, will he be able to actually figure this out? He has no idea. He knows that 1 player is here. He's checking the usual spots. One of them is going to stack himself, and that's all about the bait. All about the bait and switch.
Quad kill for Fallen in this round. 6-4. And Luminosity, they're on the terrorist side of Inferno. This is one of these maps where, again, TSM have had a lot of results over the year where they've been sort of locking people out on the CT side, where they get these really stunning, 11-4 type finishes. That's not going to happen now, and I don't want to say it's desperate, but it is a bit of a stretch spy here for TSM. They've got to be very careful right now. It's 3 MAC-10s and it's 2 AKs on the Luminosity side. Were they expecting an eco here? I think they might have been.
I don't think they had the accurate read. You're right. You're probably thinking that TSM, after it being 2 players surviving that last round, they were a little bit light on cash. But there we go. Now they're changing it. Now that TSM, they have that man advantage. They go for the aggro smoke and bottom of Banana. They spot the man, but Dupree, he just gets flashed, full flashed as well. And nobody there to back him. Device has already fallen back to the main site, and they aren't wasting any time. Luminosity, they have the bomb to go right behind this. And what a shot from Taco! Takes out Device behind new boxes. The defense just getting shattered right now.
My mind is blown. How did he hit that shot? That looked so clumsy as well because he was sort of, you know, stumbling in, made us a quick jump and hits it dead on. Sip and Carrigan is just going to have to escape here. I'm quite sure Luminosity thought this was going to be eco time for TSM, so they pick up 3 Mac 10s and, you know, get ready to farm up some money. That's not the case, but they still win the round. Why not?
Oh, wow. Cold, long-range duel versus Zipnix.
And I think with what we must be seeing here is a tactical timeout for TSM.
Has to be.
Already being called.
This is getting out of hand, Anders. 7 rounds. 7 rounds on the T side for Luminosity. It's just like what happened to Envy. Luminosity getting way too many T side rounds. And their CT side now, after the first run through that they've had, I mean, it should only be getting better. What's insane is that this team, I mean, it is the element of surprise.
What is this?
Yeah, that's a spicy shot right there. But it's the element of surprise. It's a combination. Nobody really knows what to expect from Luminosity. Yes, they're a threat, but now with the 2 new players, is there going to be some shakiness there? No, they're just coming into this full swing without any practice at all. And I was talking to the coach, Zeus. They showed up at 3 a.m. the night that they were supposed to play. And so they haven't even had time to actually readjust at all, get over jet lag. Sleep has been terrible. They're just like going into these games and just buckling down. It's like, okay, time to do work. Let's go. I mean, true pros. They just show up and get the work done.
Yeah, 7 of 4. I did have that feeling about this Brazilian team. I mean, this LAN run for them, if they really manage to take out TSM, then just imagine what kind of sick record that is. I mean, how many other, even like top European teams, how many other teams could claim to have beat the teams they beat in one LAN here?
Right, Thorin actually had a tweet yesterday where there was a time when you defeat Envy, you defeat NIP, you know, you pretty much like, you would win a tournament beating those 2 teams.
Absolutely, yeah, I saw that.
If they could go through and take out TSM, I mean...
TSM,
well, basically,
Envy.
They take out 3 of the top 4 teams in the world on their way to a championship. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, Fnatic are still, they're like the raid boss. They're waiting in the wing, you know, in the last step of this. But if they were to remove TSM, I mean, that would be an ungodly start for Luminosity.
Well, ask Khan later on what my prediction was yesterday, Semler. Ask Khan about it. He's my witness.
What, did you tell Karn that Luminosity were going to light his boys up?
No, I said, I'll tell you in a second exactly what my prediction was. We've got Dupree burning alive here and with no armor and just a saved AWP. Not such a good round right here. Cajun is going to be going down, and in the pit waiting, Sip has been discovered as well, and there's a little bit too many people coming for him, which means Device is just now kind of the wall between him and Carrigan, who has to save that AWP. If they get the kill on Device, they know obviously Carrigan has the AWP, so they're probably going to go hunting madly here. Carrigan, oh no. Yeah, they're all coming for him. This is not looking good, Samlo. Carrigan, nice shot on Fallen. Goes for a little bit more, but they're closing in from either side, and he will go down. No AWP being saved. So here's my prediction to Khan. I said, I think Fnatic will beat VP on 3 maps, 2 of them being easy, 1 being hard, which is exactly what happened.
Okay.
Said, I thought LG would beat TSM, didn't say anything about the maps, and I think Fnatic will beat LG in the finals. So that was my prediction.
Okay. So you didn't have, you know, the balls to say, Karn, you know, your team is going to get trashed by South Americans tomorrow?
I love Patrick too much, man, so can't do that to him. He said you know, he would be disappointed in that, you know, in a heartfelt way. No, I can't do that.
I think it's kind of hard for everybody to believe right now just how good Luminosity are right in this tournament. The damage that they're able to do. Versus top tier, I mean, god tier teams. TSM, Fnatic, Envy. Envy, the major championship winners? Ranked number 1 in the world right now?
What's got to be exciting is that, I mean, some of these players, and FNX, we sort of know from earlier, right? Zazik had a career in 1.6. Hasn't been playing a long time, but we know his name anyway. But I mean, some of these players like Cold and Taco, and they're not really on the radar for anybody, it seems. Come out of the Brazilian team and just wreck on an international level as well. You got to wonder what's in store. You know, we're at the end of 2015 here. Next year is going to be an explosive year as well. So if this is how it sort of ends, then imagine how it starts next year. Right now, it's definitely not done yet. It's 8-4, and TSM They are widely considered sort of one of the top teams in the world. There's a good reason for it. They need to find some strength here that they haven't discovered just yet in the tournament and fight their way back in. Dupree hiding in the corner, and in the fire, Taco still wins against Dupree. What is going on? Device on top of Coils, looking for a shot, and he's got to be careful. They might be wrapping around. The bomb is going back to the bomb site right now. FNX is going to win that fight, and Carrigan goes down. Cajun, he's not seen the bomb yet, but he's winning the initial fight. Sprays a little bit more. 6 seconds left. I don't think they can actually win this round any longer. And Cajun and Device, all they have to do is stay alive, and it's going to be just fine here.
Yeah, overthinking things a little bit. Luminosity in the end. If they get caught after the clock goes down, Fallen will be able to take out Cajun, so at least he stays alive with the AWP. But one of his teammates didn't have that joy. He went down after the clock ticked, so he didn't get any bonus money. Don't overcomplicate things, Luminosity. Your B take so far has been crazy successful. There's no reason to try and go, and especially when you're running down the clock so long. If you've got a minute left and you're going for these kinds of pushes, okay, fine. But when you've got 30 seconds left, if there's any one little thing that goes wrong with your fake, this is what happens. You just run out of time. You can't get on that site to get the plan.
Almost ironically, if they had gone for the V push, it probably would have worked. I think they would have had it this time because it's just Device there against a lot of people if they had pushed through. Look at this. Is this Brazilian counter? Oh, they fall off. That would have been beautiful. They were actually trying to sort of hump their way in from the smoke and to see if they could make that work. That would have been so sick if that could have worked out.
That's the kind of creative play we love to see, Anders, and we don't get to see often enough.
Yeah, if they had had the coordination to do that, that would have been it.
Like, I think Kerrigan would have tilted off the planet if he got hit. If he actually got hit by a boost up close like that. All right, well, let's see now. Taco checking out the room. Cajun, he's waiting right around this angle. All he wants is for Taco to overcommit towards balcony. But, you know, double headshot will work just fine as well. Taco taken out then, and Luminosity now, at least they have a little bit of an idea of what the defense looked like. That's going to change, but they're down to 30 seconds. So again, no time. They have to go. They have to make this happen. And that bomb is up in apartments. If it gets dropped into pit, it's going to be a catastrophe. It has to come out of balcony straight off onto that site. And Zipnix is already waiting here with the CZ-75.
Yeah, you're right. This is a very hard round for them to win already. Fer going to go down. FNX has the bomb. He gets a headshot on one, but 10 seconds and the bomb goes down. What a shot from Fallen, but this might not be enough time here. He's going to go for the plant behind the box. They're closing in, and he's going to get the bomb plant down, but he goes down right afterwards. Carrigan with a good double kill. And yeah, the clock here working against Luminosity at the end stages, giving a chance for TSM, making it 6 and 8. 15th round coming up.
Yeah, this is where you can start to see that there are still wrinkles in their game. Without any practice after the roster change, that's what's going to happen. They aren't as quick, crisp as they would like to get onto that site. There's a couple of, they obviously have to communicate to set things up. Everybody doesn't know what they need to do yet. So it's definitely costing Luminosity time, which is why I'm thinking they just need to go back to what has worked so far in this at the beginning of this half. Just go for the straight, simple plays. See if you can't mess TSM up in this last round. If you finish 9-6 at the end of the first half T side, I mean 8-7 would already be fantastic, but 9-6, that would do the trick. And is it going to be a very fast take on mid? They are getting prepared for it. Cold, he's going to have that deep smoke behind. There's the flash, there's the run. Kerrigan not flashed though, but the follow-up works. And there we go, the double entry frag could be a triple as well. Zipnix takes one with them, but that's not good enough. And it's gonna be the rotation coming in now. Device and Dupree from the B site. Luminosity with plenty of time to set up for the after plants though.
Yeah, they cut under the smoke to try and block off Lil Pit as well. That's going to make it difficult all on its own. Cold is here, and he hasn't actually used it yet. And they're trying to see if they can wrap around here. Cold coming into a nice flashbang from a teammate. And that's going to be Dupree gone. Device alone with very little of a chance here. He goes down. 9-6 finish, just like on Overpass, in favor of Luminosity on the terrorist side of a CT side of the map. Well played indeed.
This straight aggression, that's the key. And TSM are having so much trouble just dealing with the timings, dealing with just this brute force tactic coming out from Luminosity where they just have to have, like Luminosity right now, it's just a flash and then believe that you're going to get your headshot out of that trade, out of that situation. Behind that flash, you get in there, you get that kill. And if not, you're gonna have a mate right behind you who's ready to get that trade. And they're so good at it. Luminosity, when they pushed up short, taking on Zipnix, he's spraying madly, but he's got 3 rifles facing him. At least he trades 1 for 1, but that's the kind of situation that Luminosity always need. They've got the aim. They just need to not overthink things.
Initial flashbangs being put off from LG, trying to buy some control over at Banana. There's 4 armors currently on TSM, so they're looking for that Glock train, but Loco's pushing down the middle. It's going to be FNX and Fur, actually Fur pushing it a little bit down further, and he's looking for the shot. Not going to make it work. Dupree will take him down, so a quick early trade here, and we'll see if LG win this round, then TSM, that would be devastating.
That would be a catastrophe. They cannot lose this pistol, TSM. Well, it's going to be the straight rush onto the B site. Very little subtlety here. They're going to try and get the job done, but Fallen's able to trade up 1 for 1, and they have the crossfire. Cold doing big damage. He gets 2, and he could get a 3rd as well. But it's important that he stays alive, waiting for that rotation, but he doesn't need the help. Cajun makes sure of that. Instead, it's Taco to come in and just crunch Cajun to death.
The instinctive teamwork here on Luminosity is so impressive because the guy on Coils is playing really loudly and having a big presence in the B bomb site like that, which means the backup bomb site, new box is there, no one is going to even worry about it. No one checks it. Allows Cole to get a couple of kills in there. It's just very impressive, and it works so well. Some simple stuff, but you can tell that they've got some good internal chemistry here on Luminosity. 10-6, it's all SMGs, MP7, Semler, 5 of them.
That's actually a little bit of a stretch. I mean, granted, MP7s, they do good damage versus armor, but not a single rifle.
Yeah, I agree.
When you know that TSM, without a plant, they're probably going to go for the forest. Interesting, especially because you have to get close with the MP7s. I mean, granted, okay, B site, you know, there are a lot of close quarters kind of angles to hold with the MP7 to be effective with, but you're running up against Tech 9s. It's such a scary thing when you have to play close quarters with that.
Yeah, that's exactly. The Tech 9 wants to be close as well. If you had a rifle, at least you could try and buy some distance, and that would limit the effectiveness. Dupree with a shocking headshot to shot down FNX, and now, well, he's going to get a refrag here, but a lot of people are coming for Taco. He's in the pit. They've got a bit of a crossfire set up here, but can they actually maintain it? Taco spraying and trying to transfer. Fei going to be picking up a great double kill, but he goes down, and that was Device with the kill being picked up there. Now, bomb is being planted in the corner. There is a kid on cold, and they're right by the bomb site as it goes down.
And info. Zipnix is going to get far enough back, though, to dodge most of that HE damage. He's down to 25, but the crossfire is still here. They're staking on Tech 9s as well. They don't need no staking MP9s. Zipnix trades 1 for 1, and he needs to get up onto this site, but he gets a great shot onto Cold, drops him down to 12 HP. And that bomb still planted. No, it isn't. This is the moment. Can he actually get this? No, he cannot. Zipnix darts forward with that Tech 9 and manages to end the job. Take out Cold before you can get that defuse going.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea why Luminosity wouldn't have at least a couple of rifles there. That's really ambitious to just rely on SMGs.
Yeah, I agree, definitely, and maybe that's part of what backfired on them here. I'm impressed that they made that, was it Dupree live at the end or was Device? I can't remember. Actually managed to get that kill on the bomb, on the diffuser, because that bomb position is used a lot, and it very often wrecks the terrorist sign when people do it, because it's so hard to stop people diffusing it in there. It's been a sort of a pet hate of mine on Inferno for a very long time. Sip with a nice opening shot on Cold, and just to point out, Luminosity did force up in return here with armor and pistols.
Yeah. Zipnix had, you know, some Dayquil. Decided to snuff that Cold real quick.
Oh, that was deep.
That was.
I like it.
But, well, I mean, Luminosity, they haven't overcommitted in this round, I don't believe, at least. They still have a little bit of a tricky play, but there it is. The firing squad, and they don't get the kill somehow. Device makes it out of there with 25 HP. And now everybody here for TSM, they're just going to go bombarding onto this side. It's FNX up close. He gets roasted, toasted, and Cajun shreds him as well.
Very nicely done here. Cajun landing a headshot on Fallen as well. And the rest of Luminosity here, they don't have much, but it's still worth saving, I reckon. 4,200 in equipment value, and I mean, that defuse kit as well. I'm still waiting for the day, Samuel, when someone saves a defuse kit like this, buys a smoke in the next round, and goes for an actual ninja defuse.
Goes for the Sparkles play.
Please make it work.
Wasn't it Dupree and Fragbite Masters? That was one of the legendary diffuse, like, crazy ninjas we've had.
It was on Nuke.
I
think almost unique in how cool it was.
I think so too.
I can't think of anyone else. Just wouldn't like one other play maybe that's been close, but. So.
Device, he knows. We're talking about him. Device, you're right.
Right now, sort of, it seems like close to the edge. TSM are starting to gain a bit of control, all based on that run, you know, 5 MP7 round that they've had. Luminosity still haven't used their pause. Can still get in here and try and think about what they want to do. It's not going to be just yet. No, they don't have the rifles for it.
Well, 3 CZs, 2 CZs, and Taco. And Luminosity, early on, they want to see if they can't get a challenge. And does somebody have a flash to open this up? Yes, there's the flash, and Cold, instant headshot with the CZ. Cajun gonna line him up, though. Instant return for TSM. 2 kills, they'll take that trade. Now TSM, all they have to do is bide their time. They have all the nades that they need as well, and the rifle advantage. No need to throw it away by taking any risks. Just sit and wait.
Taco with a single Molotov, and maybe a Fur's in position too. I mean, if they can sort of hit them and get them tagged up with the bullets inside the Molotov, sort of a slim chance here, but it's worth going for anyway. Molotov going to go down very early on, considering there's 55 seconds, and Taco just comes leaping out, and he gets shot down to about 6 health. So, yeah, a lot of information here for TSM. And now no more grenades left either on Luminosity, so they've got a second guy coming into the bomb site. Might not be enough Fur up here in apartments. Going to check it out, not seeing anybody just yet. Gets a nice headshot on Sip and goes for a bit more, but he's sort of zoned out now. It's hard for him to get out on the balcony without dying.
It's hard to challenge him, though, as well. If you get up close like that, one CZ bullet to the face, and you're Dunsky, so they have to be a little bit careful about it, TSM. Now they know at least that they have a man on the back lines, but they know he's only got that pistol. He wasn't able to pick up the AK. So now it's all about setting up for the exits. Fair already managing to do one. And TSM, I like this play from TSM though, just wrapping right back around towards that A site, powering through. And not a whole lot that FNX can do right there with that MP7 long range. No Kevlar to mitigate the aim punch. Oh, what a shot on the Cajun. Gets him low enough, and can he actually get out here for a rifle? No, not quite fast enough.
That's a cool idea anyway. So, making it expensive for the Danish team to at least try and win these rounds. AWP being picked up on Fallen. Still some FAMASas in play here. We've got 3 smokes and a Molotov. That is actually not a lot. So if TSM play this round slowly, once we get to around the 40-second mark, I expect the Luminosity won't have too many grenades left. And, yeah, well, that could be a big problem, obviously. So we're going to see second mid, a lot of presence for the Danes, and see if they can get some. They might actually set up for a really quick arch push here.
Yeah, and they have 4 smokes. They have 4 players here on the A side right now. Fer has started falling back. A little bit of a bumbled nade there. It looks like they took a lot of damage in TSM, and there's the crossfire. Taco just sprays them down, and what a slaughter. Luminosity, right place, right time for every single one of them.
Yeah.
And what the hell was that HE? Did that come from Luminosity? I thought that...
I think it did. I think that the grenade that came from the terrorist side was a flashbang setup, so sort of push
we're going to get the replay here. No, we don't.
But yeah, I think you said right place, right time. This is beautiful, right? They've got 3 people at the A bomb site, 2 of them by quad, and the smokes don't work so well for TSM either, so sort of a throwaway round almost. That's going to be into 11-9, still favoring the Brazilian side. And yeah, an important round for them to pick up, I think.
And they are going for the deny, really, from TSM. Bottom smoke, bottom of banana, and just not letting TSM get control of that. They want to see if they can run down the clock. Fallen waiting in apartments. That's exactly what they want. It's that 1-2 combination. Smoke at the bottom of banana. What do? Usually you play passive on the CT side of A. You don't give TSM a chance to open it up. But Fallen, he was looking to pull a fast one on TSM there. Maybe catch somebody assuming something, making a mistake, running in there unprepared, and he could have got an easy pick for Luminosity. But instead, it's back to default situations here for both of these teams, actually.
50 seconds left, and TSM not with too much equipment either right now. A utility, Dupree with a nice shot there on Fallen. That's actually a huge kill. Got the Molotov as well. Can he burn out the corner? That would be big. What is Dupree doing? That's another headshot. Taco going to refrag that one, but he's flashed and trying to fall back. Cold has to come up massively here. If he dies, so does the B bomb side. He's trying to make it out, but they know he's in the corner. He actually still takes Device with him. That's incredible. But Fur and Taco, they are at the bomb site. This will be a very, very difficult retake. If TSM don't make a mistake, I'm not sure they could do this. And already dropping low, and an easy kill there for Cajun. And TSM... Ooh, that's going to wreck the Brazilian economy, isn't it? Well, they can maybe just buy if they want to force, but it won't be pretty.
Yeah, I think they don't. I think they go for a quasi.
Yeah.
They're floating around the 3,500, 4,000 mark. They could have gone for the force, but instead they want to make sure they have all those nades. It's constantly mentioned on the analyst desk, etc., that the nades is what really are what really make the difference for CT side on Inferno because of all these chokes, the incendiaries, the smokes, the flashes. I mean, if you have everything you need, it's a real pain for TSM to get onto those sites. So I'm glad that Luminosity, they're still ahead. Even with the Nico, even if TSM get up to 11-11, they're still the favored side if they have everything they need. So this is very good control coming in from Fallen.
Oh, flash with a smoke there. Dangerous play. Could have almost worked out. Fallen stepping close here with the P250, gonna get dropped. You are right. I think if they'd been playing Dust 2, then maybe Luminosity would have just tried for the force up in the round like this. But Taco moving closer on the 5-7 here. It's one-shot headshot range here. Doesn't need the headshot. Gonna be taking down Dupree anyway. Can't steal the rifle, it seems. And so a good trade either way for Luminosity. They're gonna be excited about that one.
They're making it pretty expensive, all things considered.
Oh.
And yeah, Taco, he comes back afterwards to pick up the AK. Sneakies. And he even spots up a second man. Device. 2 rounds in a row now where Device gets picked off in a situation where I think he should have come out ahead. So
this kind of round, TSM just simply cannot lose. And they're actually pushing a bomb site with Furs, holding with 17 health. So the only way this works out is if they don't check the corner, which 9 times out of 10 they will. Fur gets one, he gets a second. What is going on? He's got 1 bullet left. He can't even go for the repeat, but it's still a 1v2 here. 20 seconds left, and Carrigan is going to be putting down the bomb. What is wrong with Fur? Never should that happen. They were even checking it, and he just comes blazing out. Carrigan goes down to FNX, and Luminosity absolutely robbing TSM of that round.
Oh, man. Fallen, you're right. Definitely say something to Fur in that situation. You got to congratulate him on just turning that round. And Taco as well. This frag right here, he puts the pressure on, gets Dupree's gun, gets the kill on a Device, and then Fur.
This is nuts.
This is sick. Just mistiming on the flash. That's what caused that Mix's life. He turns away expecting the flash, but he's a half second too early. Fur's just like, oh, thanks. Yoink. Boom.
Small mistakes.
Oh, man, that's going to be so painful now because now they actually have 2 players with 4,000 on Luminosity. 3 of them will buy up, but it's a little bit of breathing room here for Luminosity. And we were saying that, yeah, okay, they should accept they're just going to lose the round and play from 11-11. Luminosity, them being a momentum team, this is going to be a huge blow to TSM.
I mean, that was a big gift, and it's gonna come back to haunt TSM later on. If they lose just a couple of more rounds here, then the thought of knowing that you could have been closer, you could have had a better economy, and even more importantly, the other team could have had a worse one. It's really gonna wreck them. And look at this, how many Molotovs are left now here? 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs at about a minute left, and that's a very good sign.
Yeah, exactly. This is ideal. Oh, so many Molotovs, a lot of flashes as well. So they have everything they need here, Luminosity, to really wreck TSM when TSM decide to go for the play. And TSM, they're not going to have anything to do here on the A side. Instead, it's Dupree just kind of lurking around, hoping to catch somebody trying to get info on Luminosity's side. It's TSM, double Molly 3, double smoke. Everything you need.
Yeah, especially in the position that Cold is in right now. He's got the 1 Molotov on here, but he could get Firebomb out of the position. Fur gonna go down, Fallen here with the AWP flashbang in, and yeah, Cold has to run from the fire that's raining down. Device gonna be dropping Fallen, then Cold in the back lines here. Oh, 20 seconds. He's got a 1-on-4 on his hand here, and they know where he is back here as well. Gonna be spraying down 1 on Sip, but 15 seconds. The bomb will be going down, and the Dupree's even covering the rotation here. Great execute right now for TSM. That's a beautiful round. Very, very good Counter-Strike coming out here. And yeah, someone daring to wave the Danish flag down there. We're going to almost be tied up here. Their money for Luminosity is not good. And again, they go for sort of some C-sets here. Yeah. TSM, they've obviously got to win this round.
Yeah, this is still, they can get an AWP for Fallen in the next round if they want. There are some options still. So, Luminosity, man, talk about an up and down roller coaster of a match that we're getting from both of these teams, both sides. The fact that TSM are still in this, though, really speaks of the quality of these players. Nice little nade there just to shake Cold up. He gets things for 21. And well, Luminosity still holding close here. TSM not running into any kind of trap. Instead, Luminosity playing this out as if it was a default round, as if they had rifles. I mean, they have CZ, so they might as well, but...
In so many ways, this is a strange game for TSM because we've got Cajun and Sipnik's top fragging, whereas Device is on 11 kills, 12 on Carrigan, 13 on Dupree. So sort of some of the really big players here are not really showing up for TSM, at least not enough right now.
Another.
Close range here with CSET, and well, if he'd made a little bit patient, maybe they would have presented a target for him.
Early rotation from that B site means there's still 3 players alive here for Luminosity. 2 of them have Kevlar, 1 of them at least, Cold. And well, Dupree manages to find FNX, Fallen gets caught, and it is gonna be fair, try to tap away, and he will be able to pick up 1 kill onto Dupree. That isn't exactly good enough here. Cold's gonna rotate right into Cage and B. Kill after kill coming through, and we're tied up now 12-12. TSM, they're bringing it back here. And Luminosity, they will be going for the buy. Basically everything they can chuck into this, but it's so light on the nades, Anders.
This semifinals has turned from being sort of 2 fairly one-sided maps into an absolute horror show here on Inferno. 25th round is coming up now, and the scoreline is tied at 12-12, with Luminosity's economy being significantly worse than TSM. Right now, the Danish team could afford to take a round loss, and they would still be able to buy and put more pressure on. And stack going on here at quad.
Actually, yeah, they really are focused on that mid play, but TSM, they've decided to take a different tack completely. Haven't really gone for having Dupree lurk up like that and look towards Graveyard, look towards Pit. Might get nasty. Device trying to bait out some kind of shot, some kind of reaction in case somebody's holding close. Fallen, not gonna go for it. Instead, waits so patiently and gets rewarded in the end. Takes out Device, and now it gets real sticky here for TSM.
And this 3-man stack to the right-hand side of mid is going to be very tough for them to break indeed. FNX spraying down 1, Taka with the shot. Zipnix is going to get a kill, but he comes out on the balcony and is in a very poor position to try and do anything. He actually gets a shot, but the bomb is now trapped in middle. 40 seconds. This would be the clutch of a lifetime here for Zipnix. Could very well be the difference between them making the grand finals and not. He's got a 1-on-2. He jumps, and Fallen shoots him out of the sky. 13-12 here. The money... Oh, well, yeah, they're gonna spread the buyout here on the TSM side. Wow.
And you have to admire FNX as well. He knows that he's boxed in. It's all about just standing his ground. He doesn't try and go for anything crazy. No nades, no running away, nothing like that. He just sits there and says, okay, if I'm caught, I'm gonna take at least 1 more guy with me, if not all 3. So FNX, man, that boost position just made it work so well. And now it is gonna be the buy coming in from TSM. They still have the money. They tried to get up to top Banana quick, but the flash, smoke, everything here to deny them, and now it's back to basics. Just spread back out across this map because you aren't gonna get that early take in here where you can get right up on the B side.
This is a very, very scary situation for both teams. Nobody's really making away too much. I mean, it was 2 people left for Luminosity that last round. They've got almost no money. Neither does TSM. So if Luminosity win this round, they could bounce into almost sort of match and map point. If TSM win it, then it's going to get really rough for the end of it here. So a very, very open game. And not a lot is going to be decided in this 1 round here. Double stack over at B right now. Fallen with the AWP close range. And he's got Cold behind him, ready to build up a smoke. If Fallen gets a shot, smoke's going to go up, and they're going to try and fall back here.
Yeah, double smoke, there it is, shoulder peek, bait, Device, perfect timing, can Fallen do it again? Point blank, and he's still alive, but it's gonna be Cold with a double, nearly a quad. Triple spray for Cold, more than making up for Fallen, not landing a shot, and it's a man advantage now for Luminosity, and they're looking to deny the bomb plant. They do so. FNX there just in time, and now again, Zipnix 1v3 this time. And he's stuck in the triangle, Anders, and it's closing in on him. He's got nowhere to go. Fair for the final kill, and Luminosity up on 14 rounds.
If the bomb goes down, then actually Sip is holding from Banana where 2 people are rotating in. There's a good chance he could have kept them occupied for a very long time. So denying that bomb plant is a really big deal. Now 14-12 here. And TSM, even without the bomb plant, they're gonna go for the buy here. It's Tech9 armor on 3, it's AKs on 2. It's do or die time if you're on the Danish team.
All the Tech9s, does Kerrigan have one? Yes. Kerrigan, Tech9, check. He always seems to find at least 1 headshot with this thing, so it's not done yet for TSM. They really do need to have no fear at this point, though. Their backs are to the wall in what would be one of the biggest upsets of this tournament so far. Although Luminosity taking out Envy, you can debate on which one would be bigger.
I mean, at this point, I think we just have to sort of collectively look at the teams that they're matching right now and say this is a historic tournament for Luminosity. Just in general, I think maybe a historic tournament for especially for the Brazilian scene. Fer playing close here with the M4 by Arch, and FNX gonna put in a grenade. Fer gonna actually peek behind it, and that might be a bit dangerous here. Ends up getting team killed by FNX and some couple of refrags. Oh no, what's happening? Luminosity now down to a 2-on-4, and there's nobody else on this bomb site, which TSM are gonna discover in just a few seconds here. I mean, what is this game? Why does it turn around like this?
Well, they're trying to get creative, Anders. They're trying to do something new, and then the pressure of closing out this map, of closing out this series, that's where the mistakes get made. We just saw one right there, taking out your teammate as he's standing in front of you. Just a huge commit as well from Furman, just going all the way out there. Nice shot, Fallen.
Fallen, man. Yeah, if he had been at the A-bomb site with that, or maybe that would have been different, but you're right. Shooting your teammates, no matter how annoying they get, it's not okay.
I mean, if you're Guardian, okay, because you're probably worth like 3 players regardless, right? But like...
Yeah. I know. We play matchmaking together, Semler. Sometimes have an urge to just put you out of the round.
Yeah, that was nice. Fallen is such a versatile offer. Just why I was a little surprising to see. I mean, it was also great baits from Device earlier on when they were trying to push on a banana and Fallen was holding close. You really expect that guy not to miss. But again, aggro smoke and banana. Luminosity not giving up. They aren't going to play passive. No, they're going to take the fight to TSM. Make sure that TSM can't get too comfortable here. TSM seems like they're relaxed with this situation. They're willing to not even challenge through that smoke. No reason to take a big risk. Instead, they're just going to apply a little bit of pressure with the flash and some shots through. Keep falling on his toes. This kind of reminds you of like old Neo. Just leave the guy solo in banana with the op, no problem, and then put 4 guys over on the A side.
The thing is, I'm not even sure Neo very often would go for that much of an aggressive push with just the AWP. So the thing is here, he's got no smoke or Molotov to sort of, if they rush him down, he's not even got a flashbang, then that B bomb side is lost instantly. This is a very, very brave round coming out of Fallen here. And we'll see if it's going to work. If they push A, this will be beautiful for Luminosity. They've got 4 people stacked up here. The bomb is still sloped though, and Dupree walking in kind of far. If you get in this far, you might not be suspecting a stack at all.
He's wondering. He does spot the man in pit. There's still a man holding on the site itself though, and Cold getting pre-fired, but he still gets a shot. 1-for-1 trade. That might be good enough as FNX takes out Dupree. Kerrigan right on the edge, going for the wild spray, and he can't quite find Fer.
It's too late. He's alone. He's doing some good damage, but somehow Fer is still staying alive. Kerrigan trying to reload here after getting the shot, but he's going to go down to FNX, and that's match and map point for Luminosity. 15-13, and a quad kill for FNX in that round.
On the site with the swag. Holding close. He's really favored that spot all the time on Inferno, holding up close right behind the box.
And you know what? I think what tempts TSM to get in that far is because Dupree's allowed to get so far into the bomb site. He doesn't even spot it. The first guy he sees is in pit. Then you're not going to be thinking, well, they've probably got 4 people sniping into the bomb site. They're just playing very defensively. That isn't the logic, right? Normally, people would be trying to hold middle with 4 people. This could very well be it, ladies and gentlemen. If Luminosity win this round, they will have dropped Envy, NIP, and TSM in one LAN tournament with 2 new players on the lineup. Yeah, that's making history.
Yeah, legendary. Now it comes down to whether they can keep their poise, keep control. Don't throw it away. Don't go too aggro. TSM are still floating around, but there we go. Flash the top banana, trying to get that pressure in, but then the timing is impeccable for Luminosity. They put down 1. Device through the smoke will find Fer. Just a lucky shot through with the timing just right. And that's a little frustrating for Luminosity, but in the meantime, straight A push. It is all on Taco now.
A lot ahead of him. He's trying to stay alive, hide in the corner. He does get a kill, but Dupree drops FNX, and Taco still doing work, but Cajun will be dropping him in return. Cold with a sick headshot onto Cajun B. The bomb is not down yet, and it's back into a 2vs2. Fallen, not going to get the crossing shot. Molotov is going to try and block him out of the bomb site for a bit, and Cold will fall back in, and this could be the deciding 2vs2. 20 seconds now left. Fallen pushing up with the AWP. Bomb going down all the way at the edge of the bomb site here, and Cold and Fallen, they're both on the same side, trying to take a push in, swap out for the M4. They only have pistols on the TSM side. This would be a miracle if they could do a Device, landing another headshot, and Kerrigan dropping the last player. That was Cold going down, and we'll be in the 30th round to try and see if Luminosity could do it, or we're going to overtime.
And this is it. I can't believe that TSM managed to pull this off.
seriously, Device has been so absent from this game. He gets 2 incredible Tech-9 shots, the first of them through the smoke as well.
Yeah. That already kind of wrecks Luminosity, because they're thinking it is going to be a B play. They decide to meet it bravely, head on. And that ended up costing him. Now it's going to be Fallen just, well, again, charging through, but Device is ready and waiting for him. Fallen, if he gets the angle wrong, it's going to be painful, but no. Plays it correctly. And Device has no target to work with. In the meantime, still 4 players gathered up. There is no aggro push towards T apartments this time around. Instead, it's just going to be waiting in bedroom with Fur.
Of all the rounds, of all the ways in which TSM could lose this game, I feel like losing to 3 sets, C-set 75s, a 5-7, and a max 7 would be, that would be devastating as well, wouldn't it?
Heartbreaking?
Worst possible way to lose. Fallen again alone on the other side. Can they spot him? They can, and that's an opening if I've seen one. 50 seconds left, and they're going to charge on through. Are they realizing the bomb is coming over there as well? There's nobody in the B bomb site right now, and TSM, they're going to find out. 99% chance this is going to be overtime.
Yeah. At this point, it's almost an unwinnable situation for Luminosity. Do they check this corner for Kerrigan? It's all going to come down on this man. Keeping his cool. Cold did a good job. He did actually check, but he gets caught point blank with that Galil, not able to get the job done. Now it's going to be FNX just charging through. Gets one. Gets two. No, is this actually happening? One rifle and the flash is there. Kerrigan there to lock it down, but it is going to come down to Fur in a 1v1.
He's got no kit, so he has to move so lightning fast. All he has to do is hide in the back line, staying alive. It's all that matters for. He sprays, he gets the headshot, but there might not be enough time. Is it gonna happen? He's trying to get that diffuse through. And I think that just might be, oh.
It's not gonna happen. He's not gonna cut it. There's no time. 2 seconds short.
No
kit.
Look at the reaction. We're going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Relief on TSM's side. Our 2-second decider here in the semi-finals of Dreamhack Winter 2015. What have we done to deserve this, Semler?
I don't know, Anders. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. This already. Just the tip.
But let's be clear here. It should have never been this close. It should have been an easy shutout. As soon as they get the opening frag on Banana and they realize there's nobody in B, that's an easy round.
No,
and it isn't, because Luminosity are apparently insane.
Because somehow the man finds his way through the CZ 75 through construction. Nobody there watching that angle. 2 guys holding in yellow or in pit for TSM. How does that happen that he actually gets out of there uncontested? That's nerves, Anders, as well. That's just where it's, you know, adrenaline is thundering through your body. You're just waiting to hope that you can actually pull this off.
Yeah, I mean,
you make mistakes.
The European sort of you know, hold on the Counter-Strike scene is being challenged by a very powerful team from South America right now. Makes you wonder, Sander, what would happen if we started seeing sort of a significant number of Asian teams as well? I'm just saying we could have a very exciting Counter-Strike scene in 2016. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know which of my favorite hope phrases to use with you right now, Anders. You know,
Springs eternal.
Hope springs eternal. Yes, that's one of them. But then you have to remember, Anders, that hope is but a waking dream. So, there we go. Now, what is
look at this?
discussion?
Look at the map score. 16-5, 16-6. You know, 2 stomps on the first 2 maps. The way it was looking, 9-6 in favor of Luminosity on the terrorist side of Inferno. It looked like they were going to crush TSM on this map as well, and somehow that didn't happen. And now we're in overtime. And if you've just joined us, you are pretty much right on time. If you're a newcomer and a new viewer to the game, well, you haven't picked a bad time either to get involved with the Counter-Strike scene. It's been very, very interesting here. So now, this time, because I actually have the overtime format right, unlike yesterday, we do have MR5 and 16,000 starting money, which is significant here. It means right now either team's at 15 rounds. We're looking for the first team to get to 21 rounds. You need to win 6 rounds, and you're going to be playing 5 of them on terrorist side, another 5 on the CT side. Double overtime is perfectly possible as well. And the 16,000 starting money is relevant in terms of when you're going to run out of money, especially on the CT side. Just a quick recap for anyone new watching who might not realize what overtime means.
There you are. There you have it. And we're not wasting any time at all, guys. We're getting right into the thick of it here. Full buy for both teams, of course, Fallen with his AWP, and it's going to be Kerrigan. Or Dupree, rather, on the other side. Order changed up. How did that work? Okay. Regardless, Dupree?
I just cannot answer that question.
I mean, he does think that he can op. If he didn't have 3 other oppers on his team, Dupree's like, I would totally op.
Good, this is brilliant phrasing. Yes, Dupree does. Well, He's had moments where he's managed to prove it, but you've got to wonder if this is the right time to experiment with really anything. Fallen on the other side has proven himself much more than capable in the match already, and he's almost getting flashed there, but just manly dodges him. TSM, if the bomb still dropped all the way back at T-spawn, so right now they're just looking for a couple of openings. If they can get even just one, they'll go and pick it up and decide where to go from there. And FNX revealing himself up here, and he goes down. Quick trade, Fur and Taco with some great returns. It's going to make life very difficult here for Sip and Device.
Yeah, and they see the read coming. Xyp9x is about to get toasty. Taco, he likes it spicy, he likes it hot, and he's going in, but he's not gonna get the job done. Xyp9x instead will take it, and it will be Fur there to lock it down. Now Device in a 1v3 to set the pace, to set the tone, so he can somehow find a way to get this bomb plant without getting picked out of the sky. That would be good, but Fallen's been so on point with this op. If he stays scoped in on this angle, if he trusts himself, believes it, yep, there's the shot. Again, Device has been so on point with these shoulder peaks. He's really got it down. Fallen keeps taking the bait time and time again. 15 seconds now. Another shoulder. Device, though, not going to make it. Fur there to ruin his dreams. And it's going to be the strong start for Luminosity. 16-15.
And the fact is, if Device was to show up here in the overtime, that would probably be what pushes TSM over the top and pushes them into grand final as well. You don't want to sort of keep riding Device here, but we expect more from him in a situation like this.
Well, what's a real pleasure to see right now is that across both teams, there's nobody really hard carrying, just like there's nobody really lagging behind. They're all still staying very neck and neck as far as frags are concerned. Everybody seems to have their moments where they step up and do big work.
Luminosity again going for the 4-man stack here at the A-bomb site, but Kerrigan going to open it up. Are they going to check the corner? Because Cold is holding. He sprays 1, 2, and 3. Goes for a 4th, and it's going to be the quad kill. Cold wrecking TSM, and now Sip alone in a 1 versus 2, but it is winnable. He's got one shot on Cold, or it could be a Cold ace, I suppose. Sip going to be creeping around the corner here as they are setting up and coordinating a bit with the attack here. You can see Cold doesn't quite want to go for it. Sip revealing himself now. They know exactly where he is. If he goes back, then Fallen's got the AWP. And Sip, he's got a Molotov, and that is important. He's going to go up on the bomb, so that means he's going to buy a lot of time. He's got an HE grenade as well. We'll follow up with that one. He's now kind of zoned out. The smoke is up. He can't actually see what he's shooting at. They're going to try and go through, and Fallen hits the shot, and that's going to be the retake here. Great round from Luminosity. Oh, no! The bomb goes up! Oh, no! TSM!
They bungle the smoke. They had that smoke to cancel the molly, but they messed it up, Anders. You saw the Molotov was still on that bomb. They couldn't get on it fast enough.
I thought they just hold it. They would have survived if they... Well, if
he was holding it cold, but the Molotov wasn't canceled. TSM, I mean, Xyp9x had it just right, and they messed up the smoke to cancel it.
We need a lot of replays of that. That was too much going on all at one time.
Heart can't take this, Anders.
No, definitely not. It sounded to my ears, though there's a lot of background noise as well, but it sounded like they just would have had time for it. Taco going to be winning the first fight there, but Dupree taking down Taco right afterwards. FNX in the bedroom waiting, and who's going to be checking it? Xyp9x will, but he goes down. Fur taking a fight and coming out on bottom against Dupree. FNX with one more frag, making it a double. This is how brutal. He turns around 180 degrees and drops the bomb carrier, and that's Luminosity making it 17-16.
Oh boy.
This is madness now. We've entered the really sickening heights of Counter-Strike, and this is what you get, ladies and gentlemen. Dupree buying another AWP, which almost empties the TSM bank here. And this is not the final round of the first half of overtime, so they've got to be careful.
He's on it, but he wasn't able to get on it fast enough. Wow, less than a second.
Unreal.
A split second left on that bomb.
I'm wrecked behind that.
Sickening, and well, speak of sickening, FNX and Fallen, the two of them at top banana doing work. And just like that, TSM, they're getting shredded. They're down 2 men at the beginning of the round. Dupree, if ever there was a time to come alive with this AWP, now is it, because the rest of your teammates, they're taking shrapnel to the face, and soon they're gonna be taking some bullets too. They don't check the corner after Cold just wrecks them completely from this corner the round before.
Taco with a brilliant shot there on Kerrigan. No hesitation either. Very confident. 1 versus 5 here. He has to, well, I mean, so he should try and save the AWP, but there's a minute left, which makes that a little bit of a ridiculous proposal, especially as Luminosity have so much money they can easily hunt for him here, because the next round will be the last of the half. But Dupree, on the other hand, he doesn't have the money, which is what our great spectators are showing us. By the way, the fact that we even got that replay there, great job on the Black Molly production crew for getting us that replay with the bomb. That's a very important detail. We needed to know how much time was left in We would have had to count in nanoseconds, I think, to figure out exactly what it was.
Talk about heartbreaking though for Luminosity. It could be 18-15 right now. Well, they could have just won the map, right? If it weren't for these diffuses,
yeah,
they could have just won and been into the finals. Instead, they're on the hunt.
These small details here.
Yeah, defusing the bomb, stopping, big explosions. The Pre, he finds one. Now, is he going to be able to make it out of here in one piece? If he drops down and actually gets this right, he had the angle right there on the fair.
But they were on the other side of him. There's one crawling through and one by the door, so that would have been a very hard situation to survive. But 18-16 right now. Luminosity winning 3 out of 4 rounds in overtime. And we're going to be down to the last one of the first half of overtime here. Again, first to 21 is what we're looking for.
A little bit of a body block there. Fair looks at his teammate, annoyed. Well, let's see. I mean, they could go for the challenge to get top banana. Cajun B looks like he wants to get ready for that. Decides to fall back off of that nade. And instead, it's Fer just straight up peeking in mid. No fear on this man. Device has got an AWP, but he's just not scoped up at the right time. Fer able to get that peek, that info for free.
And he is looking at the corner still. He's at a bit of an off angle, just a little bit further to left than you'd normally be, which means if somebody jumps out, if someone over peaks, then he would be in a great position for it. These are sort of the small different iterations of how you might defend middle, and it's all based on sort of intuition and maybe a little bit of an idea about how TSM like to play. 4 men stacked up again at A, leaving Fer this time alone, I think. No, Fallen still alone, sorry, with the AWP and out of grenades as well at about 50 seconds.
Yeah, running low. Still fire superiority here. And well, there's angle here. He's not going to get flashed. He could spot the first man. He gets the second. What is that fadeaway headshot under debris? And now Fallen. Zipmix just jumps right into his crosshair. He's sacrificing himself, and it's just not going to pan out here. No way that Fallen misses this shot. Nope. Done. Device. Time for a nap. And Cajun, he's the last man alive. 1v5. And Fallen, he's actually mortal after all, Anders. He can miss shots after all. Still, 19-16.
And there's a reason why people have started typing Fer God everywhere, probably in the chat as well as we speak. This second shot, just what is going on? Boom! Yeah, so that was an attempted B split through Archway. Something TSM haven't done too much, so I mean, it's good that they're trying it in overtime, but they got wrecked instead. Now, going into the second half of overtime here, another 2 rounds for Luminosity, and they're going to the grand finals. If not, TSM, technically speaking, need to win 5 in a row. These are all the CT side rounds here to go to the grand finals, and anything in between that, and it's double OT, which we haven't had yet.
Mm-hmm. We haven't, no. We've only had Luminosity actually getting overtimes, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got the experience in this situation. TSM, of course, do as well. And over on the CT side, full buy, no surprise. They have to go for a TSM and Luminosity. They had success with this in regular time, and there it is. Deep flash in. Device should know exactly what's coming. He's going to get out of there just in time. Burning like a fire there. But Luminosity are just running right through, and they're getting wiped out.
Yeah, that's a bit much, a little bit too much bravery this time, maybe. And look at this rotation coming in as well. Dupree, the back line standing still for a minute, and that's dangerous. Trying to go for it with the pistol. He's out of nowhere. Everybody's flashed. No one can see a damn thing. And at the end of it, it looks like TSM are coming out on top. It's Tarko alone in a 1 versus 3, and he's going to go down to Carrigan there. That was a chaotic round.
Yeah, a little bit of a mild performance there, but what can you do? Luminosity, they just decided to go for a brave play, just get in there fast, but Device was able to see it coming from a mile away. He remembered what happened earlier on in regulation when Luminosity, that was one of the plays that they went for. Smoke goes down at bottom car, great. Everybody groups up, chuck a flash in, get in there fast and get control. It's just that Luminosity decided to not show any fear whatsoever and just try to power onto that site. And while TSM taught them otherwise, TSM taught them that you're going to pay for it if you try and go for the brute force tactic like that.
Device, once again, almost flashed through the Molotov even faster this time. So Luminosity, this time they're actually going to stop on the other side. They learned as well, and that's very good indeed. That was a very fast Molotov.
Yeah, they clearly had that setup. These are adjustments, minor adjustments made by TSM. Dupree waiting there with the Molotov cocked and ready. Device has the follow-up. Yeah, Luminosity learned. And now, well, one thing is, for the price of a flash, Luminosity, look at everything that they got out of TSM. TSM down to 1 smoke at the minute mark, 2 incendiaries.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And they, on the other hand, have plenty.
And when you're not wrong, you're right. So
That's what I meant to say, Selma. Yeah, if they go back to B now, there's nothing left that can really stop them here except for rifles. Smoke comes up. Actually, that's thrown all the way over from Archway. Pretty good job there on the TSM side. Dupree playing very close to the smoke here, which means if they don't sort of put any kind of really good underhand flashbang through, he might have a good chance of shutting them down. Molotov goes back here. That's a big sign that something is coming, and it's Luminosity with 20 seconds left. Full rotation coming in as well here from TSM. Dupree, but they both go down. Device as well, and that's a big problem. Carrigan rotating in with the AWP, but the bomb is being planted.
And does he decide to go YOLO? No. M4 straight up, waits for his mates. He's got a man in CT, 2 of them in fact, and so they will be able to move in here as a unit. TSM, it's not done yet. Last nade chucked out there by Luminosity, and now it's just gonna come down to the dirty work. Rifles are gonna have to do the trick, and Zipnik starts it off strong, but they line up in CT, and it's gonna be the last man pushing in from construction. Carrigan fighting his damnedest, but it's not gonna be good enough. 3 players survived the round for Luminosity, and they are up on match point, Anders. This is it on the edge.
20-17, a match and a map point here for Luminosity. Once again, they get close. Now, it's 3 rounds in a row here that TSM need to win to push us into double overtime. And speaking of double, they're gonna go for the double AWP play here. See if that's gonna work out. Wow. This is... This has left everybody speechless, I can tell.
Just can't look away now. Don't blink. So it might be over. Carrigan just off on that timing there. Attempted a shot through the smoke in the mid. He's not going to connect. Luminosity using a lot of nades right now, and all of this, guess what, is a fake.
Yeah, and they haven't really been good at stopping the speed push before. Now they have to. Everything rides on this. Device is on the other side with the AWP. Can he get one opening shot? They actually run through the edge. He still gets a shot in Taco, but Dupree has gone down, and that's the only other defense there. Device is dying as well. 3 versus 5 for Rita. Cole shooting him in the back as well. He's going for the shot. Carrigan almost dying. Cole turning around, dropping Sipnik's TSM. They're done for. It's a 2-on-5 here, and Cajun and Carrigan, what could they possibly do to get back in this game? I have no idea, and I don't think they do either. My God, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna see Luminosity beating Envy, NiP, and TSM to go to the grand finals here at Dreamhack Winter.
Show that they had no fear, really, at the end. I think that's what the most impressive thing is. Unfortunately, it wasn't happening today, guys. You went through the trouble of painting the flag.
I like the
TSM.
cruel cameraman saying.
I know, really. Like, get a close up on these guys real quick. No, that's horrible. That's horrible. TSM, I mean, the reality is, Anders, that both of these teams fought tooth and nail.
Yeah,
we saw the best from TSM, but today, it just so happened to be the day for Brazil. They have come through.
This whole tournament, what a run and what a storyline has been. What a heroic team as well.
I'm really looking forward to hearing what the desk have to say about this. But first, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to Paula on the stage to hear from the winners.
Thank you so much, Semler and Anders. Oh my God, you and your team produced 3 of potentially the most shocking upsets, crazy upsets over the last 2 days. What's going through your head right now?
I think it's not upset if you beat 3 best teams in the world on best of 3s, right? It just feels amazing. This game was really, really, really difficult because I had to think so much on T side on what to do. And I think on some calls I couldn't make the difference and understand what they were doing. But they were excellent players, and the game was so intense, man.
Talking about that, the point that you just made, it's what I mentioned to you briefly earlier during the competition. Best of 3s, you've been getting criticized, you and your team, about not being able to, conquer the best of 3 format against the best teams. Now 3 on the trot.
Yeah, it means a lot for us, but to be honest, doesn't mean we're gonna win every BO3 later, after that. Doesn't mean we're the right step, means that we made a good change in the team. FNX and Taco bring a lot of what we're missing on the whole team. So I'm just really happy, and I think this lineup never lost a BO3 yet.
What a change then. Going into a bit more detail, the maps, you know, Mirage, you know, you got off to a terrible start, but then the second map, Overpass, which was actually TSM's pick, you pulled it through. Like that was confusing in itself.
Yeah, exactly. Mirage, we had an idea on what they were going to do, and we prepared ourselves to play this match. But I just felt like my guys weren't on point. Like they weren't focused. I don't know why. I don't know why they took too long to get focused. Like Xipnix was pushing B apartments like for 3 times, and he got FNX every single time, and it's FNX's job to take care of that. So these kind of situations, you see that you should be getting some kills, but you are not. So twice we had an open kill with me going mid with Alp, and we lost 4v5. So shake start, and Overpass started pretty difficult, but I think the difference was when we lost Mirage, we had a conversation. I told the guys that we were going to win it, and they should stay calm and focused. If we stay focused like we was before, we could win it. And I think the change point was when we won a round on Overpass where I killed 4 of them with an Alp, and that's what...
Just dropping it in there. The big 4K, it was amazing.
That was really important. I mean, it was a pretty difficult round, and after that we made 16 rounds in a row on Overpass. It was insane.
Yeah, and just overall, the way your team played, and the new players as well, FNX had some absolutely amazing plays, especially on that last map. Just a couple more things, you know, going forward, Fnatic, they stand between you and the first place prize money.
Yeah, they stand between me and the first title ever in CSGO, so it means a lot for us. Of course, it means a lot for them, but they are used to win already, so let's hope all of Meister will take it easy on us, and we're gonna face this match like we face it every single match that we play at this tournament. We can do it, must believe, and must do our best.
What does it mean to be a South American team in the final of a competition with a prize pool this large?
It's everything we dream of.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Fallen. I'm going to leave you to it. You can go celebrate with your team very briefly. Get ready for the next match. The crowd have been amazing.
Thanks for cheering, guys.
There we go. Thank you so much, Fallen. I appreciate it. Thank you to the crowd as well. Now we are going to head over to the desk for, I'm sure, some amazing analysis.
Thanks a lot, Paula. So as I was saying, guys, that's why you change teams 2 days before an event. You just kick out the deadwood, bring in the new guys. No one knows how you're going to play, and it works, and you make it to the final.
I've got a story for you, Rich. You ready? We're going to go back in a time machine here, guys.
Okay, let's do it.
So in 2007, everyone might remember when FNX was in the MIBR lineup, that actually won the World Championship. They won ESWC, but that was in 2006.
Yeah.
2007, most of the year, they still had the same lineup. It was very good. But then Source expanded in CGS to have a Brazilian franchise.
Absolutely did.
So nearly every player from the lineup went over to this Brazilian franchise.
Yes.
But I think it was maybe due to age restraints. If FNX actually stayed in MIBR, right? And he was with a lineup where all the other players are players most people wouldn't know. They weren't these famous MIBR players. They were brought in from the second tier team. And they came to Dreamhack Winter in 2007. And they went on this miracle run where they beat Fnatic, who was the best team in the world. They beat the Finns, who was one of the top teams and had been the best team earlier in the year. In the final, they beat SK Gaming, who was another one of the very, very strong teams. And they won that tournament. FNX actually won this tournament under similar circumstances 8 years ago. Flash forwards 8 years now, and obviously they made this crazy roster move, and they're doing it again. They've put together all these upsets in a row. It doesn't even matter now, even if they were to lose in the final. They've already done at least 2 of these upsets, 2 of the best teams in the entire world. So that's already another crazy story to add to that kind of history book there.
So, I mean, guys, can you think of a time you've seen someone get 16-0'd in a tournament and then find themselves in the final?
I don't think it's ever happened.
No, it's very incredible, and all the respect for them to be able to put such a performance out after being so destroyed in the first day. It's very impressive.
But it's not just impressive, it's batshit crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. That's what it is. And I think it speaks volume of how strong they are mentally. Like, they've actually been in so many tough situations in every single series they've been in. Like, from starting off the entire tournament, from just getting absolutely wrecked to having to play overtimes versus teams that are supposedly better than you, and still pulling it out each and every time.
I think actually Sean Gares had a great tweet on this comment, okay? During the Inferno game, when it was really back and forth early on, his tweet just said, in like the CSGO dictionary, if you look up the word resilience, it would just show luminosity.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Think about this game here, this third map. So they got in a situation where they were so close to winning all the time. Remember that happened against NIP on Cash, but then it goes to overtime. You're always worried in that situation. Now you're going to lose in overtime, and then you'll be thinking all the time, oh, we were 1 round away. But actually in overtime, they didn't let up. They were doing the same thing again. Even when TSM would win a round, they'd come back and win the rounds. With the number of rounds they won where they had low buys and they didn't have any weapons was absolutely bonkers. I mean, they almost made the CZ look overpowered on this Inferno game here.
Yeah, well, we'll get into the sort of bones of the game in a bit, but let's just talk about TSM. Now, I said again in the pre-show on previous days, they had to get to the final here. They had to. Yeah. This is a team, it's been well publicized. They're having talks with other organizations. Might not be with TSM in the future. Everything's up for grabs in January. And of course, we all know CSGO landscape's changing as well. Now, they continue to under-deliver, and I don't think all of this drama and everything that's been going on in the background has really helped them out at all. But I still think they needed to at least make the final, if not win this tournament. What does it mean?
As amazing as Luminosity played, and they definitely played very, very well, obviously the way they lost the first map wasn't quite up to the standards of some of the play they had yesterday. They played great, but TSM helped them out as well.
Yeah.
Like TSM, okay, the first map was fantastic, second one was okay at times, third one, I mean, let's go back in the history books to the beginning of this year. Device is back again. So Device has got that ancient Chinese demon that's possessing him called Cho King. That guy's back again. Thought we'd exercised him, but no.
Familiar with that.
I mean, the guy had like 9 kills for most of regulation. You can't be doing this if you're a world-class player, especially because the thing was, the game was so close the whole time. If he turns up even a little bit, his team probably just wins. Like a narrow game, but he was one of the key reasons. And you saw that round there, where he shouldn't even have gotten them to overtime. That he had like, he was in an AWP 1v1, he missed the shot, a static shot, then you could tell he was so shook as a player, so afraid, he didn't even repeat with the AWP. He took out his like CZ or whatever the secondary weapon was and just stand around the corner, praying the guy just runs into the bullet basically. So you could see from the whole way the whole round played out, he was having some real issues, and just in terms of his individual game, and that's what was missing from TSM.
Yeah, well, we talked about Karrigan. We've got some clips actually from Mirage, so we'll start blending it all together. Talk us through this, Ben.
Yeah, well, this was something we decided to show simply because it's a bit of a difference from what we saw in VP. We talked about how Bialys hesitated and how that kind of made the entire retake of VP harder when they were trying to take this B-bomb site after spotting them out. Here you can tell Karrigan knows that people are on the B-bomb site instantly because of the Molotov down, but it doesn't really stop him from doing anything at all. So with no hesitation, gets on the site, manages to stop the bomb plant, which allows Cajun to rotate all the way around from B apps to actually help out clutch the round, and TSM ends up winning this round. So plays like that really will let you know that TSM are ready to play, and that's what we were kind of alluding to when we were doing the pregame, that TSM could very easily pick up Mirage as well, even though that was Luminosity's pick. Well,
it looked like it was going, going to go that way, and then we obviously saw Luminosity show that they've still got fight in them, but it wasn't really shown on Mirage. I mean, we were all sat in the room thinking, wow, this is embarrassing. This is almost like the day one Luminosity. There's another example. I don't know which one of you chaps picked this one out, but
yeah, I think I picked
Luminosity when they
So what happened before that is that Luminosity, it's 5-0 for TSM. Luminosity has not taken control of the middle at all at the beginning of the game. So finally they decide they were gonna take the control of the middle. They get the open kill with Fallen. It's a 5-on-4, which is a good situation. But the problem is, while they focus on the middle, they do not take enough information on the extremity. So Xipnix is actually able to push forward into the B apps, and then he gets a triple kill. I'm not saying the triple kill is normal, but I'd say in that position, he should at least get a double kill. The third one is maybe a little bit of luck or success whatsoever. But for me, that's an example of Luminosity didn't know how to find the balance between playing like textbook tactics from the extremity and controlling the middle. Either they would focus all on the middle and let Cajun and Xipnix go way too much ahead and take too much information, or just play textbook tactics, have no control over the middle, let TSM get all the informations and do the right gamble. So for me, the T side on Luminosity on Mirage was just wrong, and TSM quite logically won this map.
Yeah, and then of course we move on to Overpass. We've got a clip coming up, but just before we get into that, Duncan, at this point you were looking very self-satisfied.
I mean, they just won the map of Luminosity, and now it's their map.
But you made it 2-0 prediction.
Sure, yeah.
So, and I couldn't conceive of a way that Luminosity, again, to stress this, a team that had changed players 2 days before the event starts, would have a chance against TSM on Overpass.
Well, I mean, remember, this is the map where earlier on in the tournament, one of the 16 zeros was TSM against Team Liquid. They're a good Overpass team, winning 15 T rounds. If your T side's anywhere close to that, we already know their CT side's usually strong. That's going to be a map. That's the reason why they're picking this map, not something like Train. They're not going for some weird pick. They're going, right, this is a very strong map for us right now. This was an absolute collapse from them. I mean, yeah, you can put some of it down to like, well, we won the first map so easily, so maybe we're just cruising. We haven't been tested yet. Okay, that's all great, but it should have at least been competitive on this map. It really wasn't.
And Vendetta picked out the point where they collapsed, I think. You identified it.
Yeah, this is pretty much it. The score right now is 5-0 for TSM, and TSM have made the same rotations to really collapse around Luminosity at this point. But this is where you see it. Cajun has done this rotation multiple times up till this point. And now you can actually see that LG are adapting because they know what's about to hit. So you can see Fallen already setting up for the rotation coming in from Cajun. And making that kind of an adaptation when you're already down 5-0, things have gone superbly grim for you in the first map. That shows that resilience that we talked about. And they're able to bring it back. Fallen closes out the round with 2 more kills. So this is the entire turning point. LG actually started adapting to what they saw happen to TSM. They figured out the rotation patterns. They figured out how they could bait out several, bait out people in several situations, whether it be, making TSM use their utilities too early, all that kind of stuff. So, and that came, like, from there on out, that continued into Inferno.
Yeah, I really agree with you that they could see Cajun coming and killing him, although I think they should have won this round. It was like a 5v4. They were ready and set up on the side. And what happened after that is very interesting. So TSM make the right play. They wait defensively, because this is what you do against a team that doesn't have like the technical background to take the spot. That reminds you of like Envious, old Envious on Overpass. They would just close the map, let the T's go forward, and lose the game. And then it was 5-1 for TSM. TSM thought maybe they figured out what we were doing, so we're gonna go offensive. But what happened is that they traded kills with Luminosity a lot, even lost majority of those trades. They opened up the map for Luminosity, and I definitely think they kind of gifted the map, because Luminosity had the possibility to play 3v3, 4v4, and as much as Overpass is a CT map and 5-on-5, I definitely think it's a team map when it comes to 3v3, because how easy it is to rotate from spot to spot. So I think TSM should have realized that this round should not have been lost, and they should just have kept on their playing style, wait for Luminosity to crash on their defense. But they changed. That's what we call mind game. They changed and they got destroyed.
That's the thing I was saying. The tendency for TSM is they want to anti-strat. So if they think they figured out one thing, they're not just going to keep playing normally and have that in the back of their mind. They're going to be right. We do whatever the hard counter to that is. And the famous thing about anti-stratting is either it works really, really well, or you look like an absolute idiot, and the other guy sort of like a matador just lets you go past and fall over, So that's what ended up happening. In fact, what's funny is that leads into what happened on Inferno, because I remember there was a round on Inferno when, because they were pushing up the banana, the Luminosity guys, okay, the first time they came in, they put these great Molotovs down TSM and they burned a bunch of them alive.
I think we've got this clip, Duncan. Talk us through it,
maybe this is the same clip then.
I think
so as they were coming in, if this is the right one, the Molotovs actually come down from TSM and burn a bunch of the guys really badly, actually. I think this is the one, this might be the one here,
This is actually Luminosity's force buy.
Right.
Yeah, so, because this is a strategy that Luminosity have used, or Fallen have used in his teams for a long, long time, even going back to the Katowice qualifiers. And you can see here that Device is standing by the 2 box, which is normally supposed to be Molotov'd out. And that creates a massive problem for the entirety of Luminosity, because it is an extremely tough round to hold for TSM if those Molotovs go where they're supposed to be, because that forces Device out into the open. Luminosity doesn't have to go as far into the site to actually find isolated kills. They don't have to be afraid of a crossfire, anything like that.
But this is the problem, though, as I was getting to, which is when they had Molotovs on CT side, the guys from TSM, if the guys from Luminosity just did what initially looked like the round before, there was massive overreaction, because TSM was so panicked, they were like, we got to get it perfect this time. So we saw times when they threw Molotovs that didn't touch anyone and they just went back. I mean, if you're a team of the caliber of TSMs, if you trust that your aim's going to win you the battles, then you use the Molotovs correctly in the flashes, you're going to win these fights. You're going to be in a good situation. They were almost like so worried about what was happening. They thought they could like cheat on it and like gamble over and always over-rotate. And this is what ended up costing them in the game, because actually the guys from Luminosity, I'm not sure what Fallen's calling, but it seemed like he was playing them like a fiddle there. Like, okay, you go here, that's what I wanted. Now we're going to the other side.
And we're talking about panic. We've got an example of blind panic. This is where TSM, I think, walked into a site and pretty much flashed themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is all the kills from,
Yeah. There you can see the fatal
the other guy
flash.
doesn't even get the trade here.
Yeah, because Snipnix actually fails the flash. We see it exploded like in the pool.
The trajectory,
And so Cajun was flashed, that should never have happened, and Fair at this position should get 1 kill, maximum. And then the second guy is flashed, no reason for that, and they end up winning the round. That should not have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one thing I do want to discuss is, we've talked about it, great in-game leaders. Now, I won't dwell on it, but I suspect in TSM, Carrigan has said to us, we're trying to do things democratically right now. I don't like democracy. It gives stupid people too much of a say, obviously, which isn't to say anyone in TSM is stupid, but I think for a team game, sometimes there has to be a guy who's got a veto.
Well, here's the thing. Considering Carrigan is playing kind of like the mastermind role where he's supposed to set the tactics and stuff, when you talk to him and ask him, why does this happen here? He never says like, oh yeah, I made a mistake, like I called the wrong tactic. It's always like, no, I know what you mean there, but it's almost like he sounds like he's negotiating. I was trying to get the guy to do this, and he was like, oh, I don't really want to throw a flash there. That's no way to be an in-game leader. Again, there's no time for democracy. The reason you have an in-game leader is because you need one person to make a decision like that. You can't have like a debate like, oh, what is it, 3-2 if we throw this flash or not? Yeah. It's the yes. You have to make the decision and split. Whereas you look at Luminosity, you can tell Fallen makes the call like that, and they just do it. They go, oh, he must know what he's talking about.
And that was my last question before we go to break. Do we now need to start thinking about Fallen as a great in-game leader? Because whenever we talk about great in-game leaders, his name's never mentioned. Does that need to change?
Well, I mean, I already thought they were pretty good before in terms of tactics, and when you consider the kills he's getting within his own tactics, it's very good.
Yeah, and especially given he's made this up pretty much on the fly. He's created what they've been doing so far within the span of 2 days.
Yep.
That's absolutely
who even
insanity.
knew they could play Overpass?
Yeah, well, nobody. I'm not even sure they even knew they could play it that well.
And then Cash yesterday, they're not even a Cash team with the old lineup.
Yeah.
So these are unreal halves to be having.
And what's really cool about the Luminosity team is that they seem so very aware of what the opponents are doing. You could tell that on Inferno especially because they kept going towards that B-bomb side. And Device and Dupree, that should normally be a very fearful duo to go up against. Luminosity had no problems just slicing them apart, round after round after round after round.
Well, look, gentlemen, thanks a lot for all your thoughts. It's time to go for a quick break, but the final is coming, so we must march on. And without any further ado, we want to remind you, of course, that our coverage partner for this event is The Score. You can go to thescoreesports.com and download the app. It's dead simple to use. You can keep abreast of all the scores, crazy happenings, and stories like the one we've got unfolding here at the Season 3 finale for FACEIT at Dreamhack Winter. Anyway, when we get back, we're going to build up the final, which is going to be Fnatic versus Luminosity, a repeat of the 16-0 from day one. How much different will it be? Find out after the break.